Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've sat in front of the camera, so all right. Welcome back to Made It to Medicine with Vix. That's me. I'm a first year, almost second year medical student at University of Illinois College of Medicine at Chicago. And on my channel, I've talked to you a lot about my pre-med journey turned med school journey, but you've gotten to know a little bit more about me. I was very intentional about creating this video and letting you know that I'm not really an anomaly. There are other non-traditional students out there. There are other students who have taken the MCAT several times, and they are now my classmates in medical school. So I wanted to not really do too much talking today by interviewing several of my classmates so that you can see that non-traditional looks different and multi-MCAT test taker looks different. So enough of that from me, but come on and let's get right into their quick words of encouragement, words of advice, and any tips or anything they have to give for you. Let's go.
Katherine, and I'm a first-year student here at University of Illinois, and I just wanted to give some encouraging words for those of us who have taken the MCAT more than once. First time I took it, I did not score very well, and I was pretty upset by that, but I sat down and I realized that my biggest problems was I didn't give myself enough time to study. So in between, I used free resources like Khan Academy, I used UWorld, and I made sure I gave myself the proper time. I took it 6 months later and I had an 11 score increase. So you just have to take the proper time and feel good about the test when you go into it.
Okay, so I took the MCAT a total of 3 times. I'm a person that likes to learn deeply, and I think my issue was that I spent a lot of time in content review, and I think educational resources tell us that the best thing you can do is do practice. So as much as it might feel comfortable to read and reread, I think if you just do as many practice questions as you can, Kaplan, the Princeton Review, whatever free resources you have, that's going to be your best guide to get you to the score that you want to be. But don't be upset if you have to take it once or twice or thrice. The point is you have 7 times to take it. You take it as many times as you want to, until you feel comfortable, until you get in.
And what are some encouraging words that you have for the students who do have to take it multiple times?
I can't say if I did it, you can do it. I'll say it's a marathon, not a sprint. I think when you're a pre-med, you kind of think get to med school, and that's the goal. And then we're in med school, and I'm exhausted and tired and cry every night. So honestly, don't let this thing be the source of your stress. There's always going to be something to be stressed about. Believe in yourself, do your practice, and I think it'll come with time.
Thank you.
So hi, my name is Anna. I took the MCAT 3 times, which I know for some people is a lot, but for me, it was a journey to get there. So the first time I took the MCAT, I was very confident going in, but my score was a little lower than I expected, or actually a lot lower than I wanted and expected. So I began to get discouraged, but on my 3rd try, that's when I got it, and that's when the magic hit. My advice is to don't be discouraged, which I know is very easy to say and not very easy to do, and keep studying hard. You got this. Take a deep breath. Maybe relax the day before your MCAT so you aren't pumped up in a nervous way.
And what did you do to improve?
So what I did to improve was I changed how I studied. The other thing I did was I changed how I took care of myself and relaxed. So I went to the gym more often. I ate healthier, which I got more sleep. I prioritized my sleep. The day before the MCAT, I didn't do any studying. I just prioritized rest, relaxation, and sleep to make sure I was mentally prepared the next day.
Yeah, so my name is Denise. I took the MCAT twice. It was about 3 years apart from each other. The first time I took it when I was in college, and I didn't get as high of a score as I was expecting. I had around a 509 or a 510. I believe it was a 510. And then I tried to apply for schools with that score. I ended up getting stuck in a 3-year limbo where I didn't really know whether I was going to end up in medical school or not. And then I had to make the decision whether or not I was going to retake the MCAT or not, because the MCAT was expiring. And so I made the full commitment and I said, you know what, I'm going to try it one last time. And then I retook the MCAT 3 years later, basically having no science engagement at all in between those years where I didn't take the test. I retook the test. I used Reddit, like the MCAT Reddit, to basically help me figure out exactly how I'm going to study for it this time, just so that I had an idea from people who scored high scores and how they did it. And I would highly suggest that. And I ended up going from like a 509 to like a 519, just off basically changing how I studied to match how other people who scored really high did. So that would be my advice, would just to scour like the MCAT Reddit, and then also just like make the full commitment, because if you kind of half it, then you're not going to end up doing well.
Thank you.
My name's Kemi, first year medical student, almost an M2, and I took the MCAT 2 times. So after the first time, I gave myself probably about a month to mentally recuperate, and then I just got right back into it. I ended up doing a lot more practice questions, so focusing on the AAMC material and trying to not get bogged down by the amount of material and more at being a better test taker. And then I also got a one-on-one tutor. That was super helpful for me because the group setting of Kaplan wasn't best for me. So the one-on-one tutor helped me look at what testing strategies I needed to improve on, so that was very helpful. And then after the practice exams, to really force yourself to sit down and go through and analyze why you got the question wrong. If it was a material issue, or if it was a testing strategy issue, or if it was just general fatigue. Because at the start it was definitely fatigue, and then you get better at it.
And what words of encouragement do you have for students in the same position?
I would say don't give up. The MCAT is horrible. It is so hard, but you definitely get better at sitting and thinking for that long. The first time I did a practice exam, I sat for 30 minutes and was like, I can't sit for 7 hours, and left the library crying. And then I slowly worked up so that I could focus for that long. So I'd start for 30-minute chunks, then build to 50, then build to 90-minute chunks till I could slowly sit for that long and actually focus for that long. So start small so it's not as overwhelming, and then build up your confidence and your ability to think for that long.
Thank you so much for staying and watching this week's video. And I really hope that you are leaving feeling uplifted, motivated, and encouraged to know that just because you're sitting for the MCAT multiple times does not mean that you are less than, that you are not worthy, and that you're incompetent. It just means that it took you a little while longer to get to your journey, and that's okay. What's most important is that you make it there, right? Doesn't really matter the loops and curves and stuff in between. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really have for this week. And oh yeah, I did want this video to be recorded for those who are also have yet to sit for the MCAT. Learn from us. Take these tips to heart and like really try to hear what other people are saying. That way that you don't have to be a multi-MCAT test taker, but in the event that you are, you see that we're all medical students now. But that's all I got for you today, and I will see you next week. Bye.